What if I told you that in just 30 days, you could completely redesign your life? What if I taught you a way to create more margin, increase your focus, and finally get to the things that matter most to you? Let me guess, if you're anything like me, you're constantly busy, but at times rarely productive. You feel pulled in 100 directions. Your to-do list keeps growing, but you never seem to catch up. You're doing what you have to do, but rarely are you doing what you want to do. That's not a productivity problem. That's a systems problem. You don't need another planner. You don't need another app. You need a new strategy. And I've lived on both sides of this. There was a time when I looked successful on paper, but I was emotionally drained. I was physically unhealthy. I felt spiritually disconnected. And if I'm really honest, I felt overwhelmed. Have you ever been there before? I didn't need more hustle. I needed a better system. Craig Rochelle said it best. Strong systems make good people look great. Weak systems make great people look bad. You can't rise above a broken system. But with the right one, catch this, you won't just survive, you'll thrive. That's what this series is all about. Designing a more focused and productive life in just 30 days. I'm gonna walk you through a simple 4-week plan to help you shift from overwhelmed to a whole new level of focus. And in this first video, we're covering the first 2 foundational weeks. Week 1, we're gonna do an energy audit. For week 2, we're gonna eliminate, automate, and delegate. Let's get into it. In week 1, we're gonna focus on an energy audit. The first step in building a focused life is awareness. You've probably heard the phrase time management, but here's the truth. We don't manage time, we manage energy. Everyone gets the same 24 hours, but how you use your energy, that's what makes the difference between burnout and breakthrough. This first week is all about awareness. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to look back at the past 14 days, and I want you to try to document every single task that you did. Yes, every meeting, every email, every workout, every family moment, every content session, every errand, everything. Then for each task, I want you to mark 3 things. First, I want you to assign it an energy score. Did this task give you energy? Was it more neutral, or did it drain energy? Just mark it with a smiley face, a flat face, or a frown face, whatever works for you. The key is being honest. Now, secondly, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna ask yourself, does this task need to be eliminated? Can it be automated? Or is this something I eventually need to delegate? And don't worry, we'll go deeper into delegation in part 2 of this series, where I give you a full practical system for handing things off with clarity and confidence. Here's the third thing you're gonna do for an energy audit. You're gonna write down when you did the task. Were you in your green zone, your high energy window? Were you in your yellow zone, that middle to moderate state? Or were you in your red zone, low energy, end of the day, running on fumes? Because here's the thing, sometimes a task doesn't need to be delegated, it just needs to be moved to the right zone. You're doing deep work when you are mentally drained. You're trying to create in your red zone. That's why it feels exhausting. Not because the task is wrong, but because the timing is. This philosophy was designed by Carey Nieuwhof when he created this energy zone framework. Your green zone is for your most valuable work. This is when you create, write, plan, and lead. Your yellow zone is good for meetings, follow-ups, and collaboration. And your red zone is for admin, email, or recharging, not major decisions. So here's your challenge for this week. 1, I want you to review your last 14 days. For each task, log what it was, how it made you feel, whether to eliminate, automate, or delegate, and what time zone that you did it in. Then, you're gonna identify 3 tasks that you can move to a better zone and pick 2 that you'll either eliminate or automate this week. This might feel small, but I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Because once you stop fighting your energy and start flowing with it, you'll get more done, you'll feel more peace, and you'll start designing a life that works for you, not against you. Let's build that rhythm one step at a time. Now that you've done the work of becoming more aware of what drains you, sustains you, and where your energy flows, it's time to take action. Because clarity without action won't change your life. That brings us to the next phase of your 30-day plan: eliminate, automate, and delegate. During week 2 of your 30-day transformation, you're going to determine once and for all what needs to be eliminated, automated, and delegated. This is the secret sauce of freedom. Because let's be honest, most people don't do what matters because they're too busy doing what doesn't. And this week, you get to change that. Start asking yourself some honest questions. Why are all my meetings 60 minutes? Could they be 15? Do they need to be in person or could they be on Zoom? Do they need to be on Zoom or do they need to be a phone call? Why am I doing this task manually? Could it be automated? Am I really the best person to do this, or am I just doing it because I've done it the longest? These questions, when we answer them with integrity and honesty, will eventually create the margin you need for what matters most. Now let's talk about delegation, because I know what happens. People hear that word and think, oh, that just means I gotta dump a task on someone else. But clue in here, delegation is not dumping. Here it is. Delegation is developing. It's not about handing off stuff that you hate. It's about empowering someone else to take it farther and deeper than you ever could on your own. Let me just tell you, there's something that you hate doing that somebody else will love to do. Can I tell you that this shift will change how you lead? Here's one of the most helpful tools I've found. It's Michael Hyatt's 5 levels of delegation. Most people think delegation is binary. Either I do it or they do it. But Hyatt teaches it's actually a spectrum, and that spectrum creates clarity. Let me walk you through it. Here are Michael Hyatt's 5 levels of delegation. Level 1 is do exactly what I've asked. This is full control, no deviation, follow the playbook, execute the play. Here's level 2. Research and report back. I want your input, but I'm still making the decision. Level 3 of delegation is research and recommend. You give me the options and suggest a path. Decide and inform me. You make the decision. I just want to know about it. And level 5, which is the level we're all trying to get to with the people that we're leading, is decide and take full ownership. You own it. You run with it. No need to report unless something breaks. These 5 levels of delegation, you know what they provide? They provide clarity, and they're absolutely game-changing when you begin to execute them. It gives you confidence as a leader. It gives you handles for delegation. It also gives the people that you're delegating to confidence to run in their lane, to understand what level of delegation they've been given. Now, I want to give you one more filter. If someone can do a task 70% as well as you can, it's worth handing off. I mean, I've heard some leaders say as low as 50%. But here's the thing, will it be perfect? Probably not. Will they do it exactly the way that you would? Nope, but that's not the point. Your job is to empower, not control, to multiply your impact, not micromanage your tasks. Delegation is the pathway for you to move from being the ceiling to becoming the launch pad. So here's your challenge in the second week of your 30 days of transformation. 1, you're gonna review your energy audit. You're gonna identify the tasks to eliminate, automate, or delegate. For those that you're gonna delegate, you're gonna decide which level of Hyatt's framework applies to that delegation. And here's the challenge. You're gonna hand off at least one meaningful task this week. This is how you become free to focus on the things that only you can focus on. Well, folks, that's part 1 of 30 days of transformation. And next week, we're going to talk about how to build your operating system so you never have to start from scratch again. But for now, let's get serious about what's got to go and what's got to grow through someone else. Once you've started clearing the clutter, eliminating distractions, automating what you can, and empowering others, the next challenge is to make those changes stick. And that's what we're going to talk about in part 2 of this teaching. Let's do a quick recap. In week 1 of the 30 days of transformation, you're going to walk through the energy audit where you learn to manage energy, not just time. In week 2, you're going to tackle eliminate, automate, and delegate. You're gonna clear clutter to create space for what matters most. And that's just the foundation. You're just getting started, because in part 2 of this series, we'll build on this momentum by showing you how to document your systems, create workflows at scale, and design daily, weekly, and seasonal rhythms that help you sustain the life that you're called to build. If you haven't already, grab your free Focused Life Toolkit. It's a Notion-based resource with all the templates I teach in this series. There's an energy audit tracker, delegation levels guide by Michael Hyatt. There's a rhythms planning sheet, and a peek into how I've set up my personal HQ on Notion. Just click the link in the description to duplicate your copy. And finally, don't stop here. I want to thank you for joining me today. And if you would, drop a comment below and let me know which part hit hardest for you. I would encourage you to share this video with someone who needs to reclaim their time and their focus. And of course, please subscribe so that you don't miss part 2. It's been such an honor to lean in with you and grow alongside you. And I pray that what was deposited in you today would take you to the next level, that it would be the catalyst for you getting your focus back and you living the life that God has called you to live. I'll see you for part 2 of how to design a more focused life in 30 days. Keep leading different. Let's go.